Hey folks, hope everybody had a good weekend. I just got finished with doing a week's worth of commissions for people. I did a ridiculous amount of drawings. Thank you again very much for all the ones that I got through Twitter and Tumblr and YouTube and DeviantArt and wherever else. I really appreciate it. And thank you again also if any of you guys donated to Wakfu. Again, as of the time that I'm recording this one, they have reached far past $150,000, which is amazing. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, before I get into today's subject, I wanted to make a quick announcement. I am going to be at a convention this weekend. It is called the Running GAGG, which the GAGG. It's the Geneseo Area Gaming Convention at the State University of New York. Good old SUNY. And yeah, that's going to be fun. I will be there this upcoming weekend, which is the January 31st to February 2nd weekend. So yeah, come check that out. Big thank you to Brie Lauda for inviting me as a guest and hooking me up with that one. If you are listening to this and you'll be there, I'll be on a couple panels. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing, but I know I'll be doing a couple panels, and I think I have an artist alley table. Probably going to be selling some prints and things and doing, on-the-spot commissions and stuff there. So if you're in the upstate New York area and you want to come hang out, please show up, and I'd love to meet you. So yeah, and I do have another convention coming up the following weekend, but I don't think I can announce it just yet. So when I am announced on that convention's website, I will let you know, and you can follow me on all the usual crap to find out about that. But anyway, so today's subject was suggested by our gracious tome script supervisor, Liz Losey, and because I just asked her for a suggestion, and she said, like, oh, you should talk about movies and TV and games and things that have made you emotional. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go over a couple stories of moments in media that have made me tear up. So I'm going to go over a couple that I think really stick out and are memorable and might be memorable for you guys. So one that came as a very unexpected surprise is the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs animated movie. For those of you, first of all, who, saw the trailer or the poster for this one and be like, really? They made a movie out of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? And haven't checked it out, please do yourself a massive favor and please go watch that movie, because it is hilarious, it's inspired, it's beautiful to look at, it's a great film. Got a good lesson to it, and even the sequel is really good as well. It has a great message to it as well. So check those out. I will be spoiling some stuff here, so you can. I'll put like an annotation, and you can skip past this part. But there is a moment in this movie in particular that made me really teary-eyed, and that is the very end. Hence the spoiler tag here. But so my dad and in fact all of my family really have been very gracious and very supportive of all the stuff that I've ever done in my life. They've always known since I was basically like 3 that I wanted to be an artist, and they've always supported me. They were never like, oh no, you can't do this thing that's not going to make you any money. They've always just been incredibly supportive of what it is that I've done, and I really appreciate that. But Flint Lockwood, you can tell throughout the film that he loves his dad, but they don't really connect that much because they're speaking totally different languages in terms of what their interests are and what they're passionate about. And they just Flint doesn't necessarily care that much about the fishing stuff, and his dad doesn't necessarily just understand the the scientific stuff that Flint is so obsessed with. But the scene at the end with the thought translator kind of getting taped onto his heart, and then he gives the speech of that he can't find the words to say, and then when he rips it off and at the very end he says, "Because I love my son." Like, he literally, okay, I'm not even kidding, I just said that and like they're welling up already. Like just hearing that, and then Flynn and his dad hug, it's like, oh my god. And it's weird. It reminds me and like gets me to. I remember, I think I called my dad up like after the movie was over. I was just like, I love you, and he's like, I love you too. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, it was so weird, but because it's funny. We don't necessarily even have a relationship like Flynn and his dad, because my dad's always been supportive. He's always well, not that Flint's dad isn't supportive, but like my dad has had an understanding, because my older brother is an artist too, and he's been an artist since before I was born. So my dad has always had an understanding of the life of being an artist and, how difficult it can be. And he's never, like looked down upon that or been critical of it or whatever. He's always just been very supportive and passionate about it. So it's not like the relationship between Flint and his dad was like, it was like a perfect parallel or whatever, but just, I don't know, it struck a chord with me, and I thought it was a really cute moment, and it was really genuine. The actors did a great scene. I can't, for the life of me, remember the celebrities that voiced them. But it was one of my favorite moments in animated movies, and it definitely yanked at my heartstrings, so I'll say that. Next example is a few key moments from Pokemon. If Tom Whalen, the current director of the show, who I worked with on the episodes that I voiced in, were listening to this, which I'm sure he probably is, and I'm sure he'd be calling me a giant pussy right about now. But that aside, I definitely remember, I must have been like 10, but I remember waking up. This is back when the first season was being run in syndication on WB at like 7 o'clock in the morning before I would get up and go to school. I'm hoping that there's a bunch of other people kind of in my general age group that, woke up one morning and saw the episode where Pikachu almost left and, went to the woods and lived with all the other Pikachus or whatever. And looking back on it, it's like the song that plays during that is like silly and ridiculous, and it's so melodramatic and over the top, but God, it made me cry like a fucking baby. I think much more so than Butterfree leaving or any other particular Pokemon, Ash should be leaving behind in different episodes of the first season, or throughout the show even as well. And I wonder too about like if kids have moments like, I remember, I think the most recent example I saw of that, of like Ash leaving a Pokemon in particular, was what was it? It was an episode where his Glysaur. It was in Diamond and Pearl, I believe, where he had a Glysaur and he left it behind with another trainer so he could like have it, get stronger, and then it eventually come back. It would come back anyway, as like all of Ash's Pokemon do eventually come back at some point. But it makes me wonder about like if the kids that grow up with the show and they have like these big dramatic moments where like Ash is like, no, we have to go, I have to let you do your thing, I have to leave you behind or whatever, if it like really impacts them emotionally that much. I would imagine so, but I haven't met any kids that have been that deeply impacted, or any kids in general that watch the show currently, so I don't know. I wonder about that. So looking back on that episode, it doesn't still make me tear up like the other moments I'm talking about in this the show, but there's one, I should go back and test it again, like maybe I'll do that like as I'm uploading this and go back and watch the episode again. There's one moment, the last couple times I've gone back and I've watched like the first season again, or just even that clip, the part where Charmeleon evolves into Charizard, I think it's the episode where they meet all the fossil like prehistoric Pokemon. There's like Aerodactyl and everything. The part where Charmeleon evolves into Charizard and the like cool techno remix of the Pokemon Gym theme plays, and then he chases after Aerodactyl, who's got like Ash caught in his claws and everything. I remember when I would go back and watch that episode, it doesn't make me sad. It doesn't make me particularly more or less nostalgic than any other Pokemon Season 1 moment or anything. But for some reason, when Charizard like comes out on that first shot and then the music is playing, it makes me tear up. I don't understand why, because it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm not, it happens, and then I'm like, why is this making me tear up? I'm not sad, I'm not, like, getting emotional over it. It's like, it confuses the crap out of me. I don't understand it, and I have a problem, I think. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. The last example I'm going to provide, this is a really personal one, even compared to the other stories, is Youmacon 2012. I saw Wreck-It Ralph on opening night in the Renaissance Center. They had a movie theater built in, and for a lot of different reasons. I mean, I can't even begin to start on this one. I saw this movie in a theater packed with not only the perfect audience for it, because it was at a convention, so it was just seats packed with video game fans. It was also amongst a very large group of people who I respected and people who I cared about. A lot of really close friends who were there that weekend for the convention. We went to go see it, and we were all just in a big group together, and it was incredible. It was a great experience. And then as for the movie itself, 3 times this movie made me cry. And I'm trying to recall exactly what each moment was. If I'm remembering right, I believe the first moment was, and again, spoilers, so, I mean, I'll tag it, but this is going to take you, I guess, to the end of the video. The scene where he breaks Vanellope's car, Ralph does. That was getting me pretty close. That was welling it up a little bit. The big one that maybe just like they were flowing down my face was I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me, as he's falling down and breaks the Mentos out of the volcano thing. I was gone. I was gone. That, and then the third time it was more of just like I was happy to be there. When can we do this again? Playing in the credits, and particularly this is gonna sound really stupid, but the part where I think it's been fun, but now we've got to go, whatever it is, that, and Sonic going up and down the loop-de-loop and jumping onto hitting Eggman's thing or whatever. I'm just like, oh, I'm gone. I'm 5 again. Whatever. I don't care. Like, and the whole room was screaming. It was great. It was an amazing experience, and nothing could ever possibly replace that. So, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, great movie. That was a great time. I would never forget that weekend. That was absolute highlight. So, and if anybody who was there in the theater is listening to this, and you were there for that same night, thanks a lot for being there for it. So, anyway, that'll do it. So tell me in the comments, what are some movies and games and TV shows and things that make you tear up or get really emotional? Like that in particular. Like what admit it. Admit to me. Pour your soul out in the comments on like what is it that makes you cry. Nobody's gonna judge. And I just mentioned something about Charizard, and for reasons that I still cannot explain. So let me know your thoughts. If you got any other ideas for any future Kirblog topics, leave a comment about that too. Tweet me, Facebook me, Tumblr me, whatever, and give me some suggestions, and we'll see what happens. So and also, I have a tome short that came out last week. It's should be out, and we're going to be putting out tome episode 2, part 1, which will feature the voice of JonTron, just in time with Normal Boots being relaunched, which is awesome. So and go check them out too. Normal Boots is awesome. So yeah, look forward to that this week, and I'll have some Kirblogs ready for Thursday and Saturday this week as well, while I'm away at the convention. And maybe I'll even record one while I'm at the con. Who knows? So yeah, that'll do it. And thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.